Hello, everyone. Welcome to Little Chapel of Faith. My name is Tina. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. We have platforms on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. If you're on any of those or all those, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to hit that bell on YouTube so that you'll get all our notifications, because I guess if you don't, you won't get them. We are here with the autobiography of St Therese, Story of a Soul. And we are continuing with chapter 2. So let's begin. I told you once that it puzzled me that God did not give everyone the same amount of glory in heaven, and I feared they could not all be happy. You sent me off to fetch one of Father's big glasses, and made me put my little thimble by the side of it. Then you filled them both up with water, and asked me which I thought was the fuller. I had to admit that one was just as full as the other, because neither of them would hold any more. That was the way you helped me to grasp how it was that in heaven the least have no cause to envy the greatest. By explaining such great mysteries in a way I could understand, you gave my soul its necessary food. Prize giving every year. Though I was the only competitor, that did not mean that I was let off easily. I was never given a prize unless I had really deserved it. How my heart used to beat when my report was read out in the presence of the whole family, or when I went to have my prizes presented by my king. I used to think the day of judgment must be like that. I had no suspicion of what Father was to go through then, because he always seemed so cheerful, until God lifted the veil over the future in a strange vision. Father had gone on a journey, and was not due back until late. At about 2 or 3 o'clock, I think, when the afternoon sun was shining, and nature was at its best, I happened to be standing all alone, my mind full of delightful thoughts, at a window overlooking the garden at the back. Then across the garden, by the wash house, I saw a man dressed exactly like Father, the same height and the same walk, only much older, with a stoop. I say he looked older, but this was only the impression I got. I could not see his face because it was heavily veiled. Slowly, deliberately, he came towards me. He passed my own little plot of garden, and then a strange fear crept over me. I began to cry out, my voice trembling, "Father, Father!" He did not seem to hear, did not even turn around, but passed straight on towards the group of fir trees, which he divided into 2 main paths of the garden. I waited, expecting him to reappear the other side of the trees, but the prophetic vision was gone. This all took place in a short space of time, but it made such a vivid impression on me that the memory of it just as real to me as if the vision itself. Marie was with you in a nearby room, and the way I was calling Father frightened you both. Marie ran into me, trying to hide her feelings, and said, "Why are you calling Father like that when he's in Alicon?" I explained what I had seen, and to reassure me, you told me it must have been the maid who had drawn her apron over her head to try and scare me. When Victoria was asked about it, however, she swore she had never left the kitchen. It did not make any difference anyway, because I was convinced in my own mind I had seen a man exactly like my father. We went out and looked behind the clump of trees, but there was nothing there. Then you told me to think no more about it. But how could I do that? The strange vision kept coming back to me, and I often tried to lift the veil which hid its secret, while in my heart I was sure it would be lifted entirely one day. You know all the rest now. You know that it really was Father whom God allowed me to see coming towards me, bent with age and with the symbol of his dreadful trial upon his venerable white head. As the adorable face of Jesus was veiled during his passion, it was only fitting that the face of his faithful servant should be veiled during this time of humiliation, and so in heaven shine with all the greater radiance. I am full of wonder of God's ways. A father loves to share with his children the joyful anticipation of the future he is planning, and of their rich inheritance, and so God let us catch a glimpse of this precious cross to come. It did puzzle me, nevertheless, why he should give this vision to a child, who would have died of sorrow if she understood. It is one of those unfathomable mysteries which we will understand only in heaven. Then our wonder will know no bounds. O God, how good thou art to temper every trial over our strength. At the time I had so little courage that the very thought of losing Father would have terrified me. One day he had climbed to the top of the ladder, and I was standing rather near. He called down, "Move out of the way, my little queen. If I fall down, I shall squash you." My heart revolted at the idea, and I came even closer, saying to myself, "If he falls down, I will not have the grief of seeing him die. I shall die too." I cannot tell you how much I loved him, and I admired him and everything he did. When he used to expound to me some of his ideas on serious matters as though I were already grown up, I would tell him in all simplicity, if you talked that way to great men in the government, they would make you king for certain. Then France would be happier than ever before. The trouble is you would be miserable, because kings always are, and also you would not be my very own king. So I am very glad they do not know you. I saw the sea for the first time when I was about 6 or 7, and the slightest sight impressed me so much I could not turn my eyes away. It was a majestic, and the voice of the waves spoke to my soul of God's power and grandeur. I remember a man and his wife on the beach asking Father if I belonged to him, and saying I was very beautiful. I felt rather pleased at hearing this, because if I had not thought I was, but Father stopped them from paying me any more compliments. As you had always taken great care to say nothing which might destroy my childlike simplicity, and thought no end of you, I attached little value to their admiring words and glances, and thought no more about the matter. That same evening, when the sun appeared to be making the vast stretch of the waters beyond a golden path of light, I went in with you to sit upon a lonely rock. I gazed for ages on this path of light, and you said it was an image of the path to heaven, when grace lights up the way. Then I thought of my heart as a tiny ship with white and graceful sails gliding down the middle of a path of gold, and I resolved that I would never sail it out of the sight of Jesus, so that it may voyage swiftly in peace towards the shores of heaven. And that is the end of chapter 2. We will be back tomorrow with chapter 3. Until then, I hope you are having a beautiful day and you have a beautiful evening. Be well, be safe, be kind to each other. May God bless us all.